Ethereum Classic is back and on the rise, and if you didn't know what Ethereum Classic was, you might just be missing out on one of the most valuable hidden gems in the entire blockchain ecosystem. That's right, Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum continued after the fork created Ethereum 2.0 that went to a proof-of-stake consensus. That's right, Ethereum Classic has stayed proof of work just like Bitcoin, with the added benefit of being the most secure smart contracts platform in the world. So let's get right into it on some of the reasons why you might want to add Ethereum Classic to your crypto portfolio. So Ethereum Classic has been on the rise for a while, and we're currently at 184.92 terahash, just under the previous high of 186 terahash. But that's not all. Just like Bitcoin, we're seeing higher lows where we haven't seen in the last couple of years. Now, if you didn't know, Ethereum Classic's all-time high was at 176, and we got to a low of about 1244, where I was suggesting on Twitter that many people consider adding it to their portfolio. And we saw a little bit of a rise in the last year up to 38 over here, and we've seen a little bit of a low recently all the way down to 1692. But again, we're seeing higher lows than previously of 1727. Now we're looking at 1816, and I think we're going to continue rising. And that's the same signal that you see from Bitcoin as well during this time period. And Bitcoin and Ethereum Classic follow each other very closely over the long-term investment. So this is really about the equipment. Now, when you have big names like Bitmain and Jingle Mining investing their equipment into blockchains like Ethereum Classic, that is something that you absolutely cannot ignore. Now, when it comes to Jingle Mining equipment, it's a little bit different than the other companies because most of their equipment is actually quiet servers, and almost all of the new stuff they're developing is quiet and able to be used on a regular 110 volt line for home miners. So I see a lot of home miners using these just to heat up rooms, because electricity is really expensive, and if you're going to use a heater anyways and waste all that electricity, you might as well get a little bit of money back. So we're going to take a little bit of a look at some of the cheaper equipment here versus some of the expensive equipment, and especially this piece of equipment here, the X44Q, that isn't released yet but will be coming out soon, and I'm thinking of buying one myself here in February or March. All right, so you can go over here to MinerStat and see one of the things I really like about JazzMiner is they have 8 gigabyte DAG on most of their equipment they're coming out with. So that allows you to use that piece of equipment for 14 years compared to many others who have, just 5 gigabyte dash, where that's going to be gone. If you come down here, you can see in 2028, you only get 4 years out of that. All right, so you can also come over here to the profitability, and you can enter your own numbers on the mining calculator, or just look at what the profitability is here. And obviously, when it comes to GPU mining, it's going to be a long time before we come back. But I digress. There is some good news to look at. So I have it set here for 176, but let's change it back to the current price. We're looking at around 20 for the last month. So we've got the A16Q, X16P, and X44Q not released yet to compare, as well as the 5700 XT. Now, obviously, you're going to be losing money on the 5700 XT, but if we change the values a little bit, you'll see here in a minute. So we've got the watts, the kilowatt hour cost, profit, revenue, and things to look at. So just as an example, we've got the X16 Puro here at 2 gigahash, giving us 520 watts for a monthly revenue of about 5.3 Ethereum Classic, current value of about 108, with your kilowatt hour cost being almost $30. So that's $78 profit. And here we're comparing these 3 different pieces of equipment as well as the 5700 XT, where you're looking at just over 2 years for the X16Q, just over a year and a half for the X16P, and just over a year for the X44Q to ROI. Now, that's an incredible value for equipment that's going to continue mining for another 12 years, maybe 11 or 10, depending on how long it takes you to ROI. So if we change these values just a little bit here, let's say that ETC goes up to 50 within the next year or two. All of a sudden, you're looking at 8.5 months for the first piece of equipment, just over 9 for the second piece, and only 5.5 months for the X44Q. And even the 5700 XT comes back to being profitable. And that's something that I'm really excited to see, because I believe GPU miners want to support the original Ethereum Classic, but obviously if you're losing, a couple pennies a day, a couple dollars a day, if you have a massive mining farm, you can't do that, or you're just going to lose your entire business. So let's put it back at the all-time high of 176 and take a quick look there. Now things change a whole lot. Even a 5700 XT would ROI in about 6.5 months. Now, obviously, the difficulty is going to go up a little bit. So, maybe this is actually 7. Maybe this is actually 3. But over the long term, having the continual rise in price of ETC and having it stabilize around the previous all-time high of 176 would be an incredibly good thing for the blockchain. So again, we're looking at the continued rise of the hash rate, securing the network. We're looking at the value having higher lows than previously, and obviously big names like Jingle Mining and Bitmain investing in Ethereum Classic is something that you cannot ignore. So if you didn't know, Ethereum Classic is the original proof of work blockchain, the most secure smart contracts platform in the world. And if you don't have it in your crypto portfolio, you're probably missing out on one of the most valuable hidden gems in the entire blockchain ecosystem. Well, I'm Tricky Mick. Keep mining, and I will catch you guys next time.